What is it? Seizures are symptoms of a problem with the brain, and they are involuntary movements of the body caused by particular diseases, and these movements are uncontrollable until they stop. When a person thinks of seizures, they imagine people on the floor moving rapidly. But it is not always like that. Actually, there are many types of seizures, which my friends will tell you more about later. Most of the seizures what happen are 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and that does not cause harm. But if you sleep more than 5 minutes, it means you already have serious medical problems. It is known that seizures today there there is no way to prevent them. Suddenly, a person can be fine, and suddenly they are already on the floor moving. Just according to what I researched, there are types of medication to limit or reduce seizures and not be too repeated in such a short time. Thank you.
Causes. Nerve cells, neurons in the brain create, send and receive electrical impulses that allow nerve cells in the brain to communicate. Anything that interrupts their communication pathways can cause seizures. Sometimes in seizure disorders can be caused by genetic factors. The most common causes of seizure is epilepsy. However, not everyone who has a seizure has epilepsy. Sometimes seizures can be caused or triggered by the following: a high fever, which may be associated with an infection such as a meningitis, a lack of sleep, a flashing lights, screwed patterns, or other visual stimuli. Types. More than 30 different classes have been reported. Generalized seizures affect both sides of the brain, while focal seizures occur in one area of the brain. Tonic, the muscle of the body become rigid. Atonic, the muscle of the body relax. Myoclonic, short hicks in parts of the body. Clonic periods, in which parts of the body.
And I'm going to speak about the characteristics of the seizures. One of the characteristics of the seizures was temporary confusion, like you don't know in what place you are. Like an example that you wake up in the morning, like this feeling. Another example was absence of episodes. And absent episode was a kind of repetitions of the seizures, and he has more seizures named like myonically and the tonic. All these seizures affect the muscles because the muscles contract and all the movements of his body was blockaded.
Hi, I'm going to explain how to treat a seizure. First, ensure that the patient can breathe, but avoiding introduction into the mouth materials that the patient can vacuum or swallow. Second, do not force the introduction of objects since we can split it. A lot of less to insert our fingers into the patient's mouth since we could suffer a serious bite. Then avoid the patient's initial self-harm, prevent tongue bite, remove nervy objects to avoid trauma, patting the head, and avoid intense support of the extremities since bone fractures or muscle injuries due to contracture can occur.
A seizure is a sudden, uncontrolled electrical injury to the brain. It can cause change in behavior, movements, or feelings, and the levels of conclusions having two or more seizures as little 24 hours apart and choice cannot be identified is often considered epilepsy. There are many types of seizures with varying symptoms and severity. The types of seizures vary depending on the region of the brain in which they start, their extent. Most seizures last from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. A seizure lasts more than 5 minutes is a medical emergency. The seizures are more common than you think. Seizures can occur after a stroke, a closed head injury, an infection surge, meningitis, or another illness. However, can you suffer of the seizure is often ignored. Most disorders that cause seizures can be controlled with medication, but controlling seizures can still significantly follow your daily life. The good news is that you can work with your doctor to balance seizures control and medical side effects. What damage do seizures cause to the brain? Seizures, particularly repetitive seizures, cause substantial brain damage in highly susceptible areas, such as parts of the hippocampus, cortex, medulla, thymus, and other living structures. However, neutral thereafter seizures can be more widespread and is generally quite variable.